All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris here, Better Investing. Happy Monday. Today is February the 2nd, 2026. Let's get right into it. Right, that's what we're here for. Talk about the markets. What the hell is that? Pretty sure that's not it. What the fuck is that? Why does this spy have that wick? I don't even know. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And it's like fucked up. All right, let's try this again. Not too sure what that's about. I'm gonna try to open this up again. All right, there we go. All right, got some lagging going on here, folks. Give me a second. All right, now we're back up. I don't know what's up with this SPY chart. I don't know why it's doing that. It just distorts the entire chart. What the fuck is this? What the fuck, Trader View? That's very weird. Hold on, let me check on my other computer if it's doing that. Yeah, what the fuck is this? I'll move this over. All right, I don't know what's wrong with that, so I'm not even gonna look at it. We'll just look at XPX. Um, no, looking at XPX. Did we gap down? Yeah, we did gap down. It was some bearish news over the weekend. You had crypto kind of like selling off, um, and I think a lot of people were kind of thinking that this is probably a reversal spot, but that didn't occur. We kind of engulfed the body of a Friday's candle. We're back up here near all time highs, and I think that could potentially fuel another push up above 7,000. Some people probably got short, below here, and probably added. I don't know. I mean, probably added on this position, and that we'll see what happens. I'm a little lost or complex with the whole SPY looking the way it does, so kind of throws me off. All right, someone said it was a phantom print. But all right, looking at QQQ, we talked about QQQ back here, and I kind of mentioned that this could be a potential spot to kind of fuel, and get across this little bear gap I had around here. And we did, and we popped right back into previous all-time highs or in close, right? The previous all-time close. Pull back, and still kind of a sequence of higher lows for the most part, right? We could kind of charge back in here and continue to break out. Um, but again, I'm just not overly bearish right now. For me to like really get bearish on the market, I would expect to kind of see something like us start to dangle around the 50 day, right? And if we start to hold below the 50, right, then we can probably see some action down into these previous lows or something like that. But until then, I'm just not really overly bearish, and was kind of happy that we kind of got some pullback and resets on some things. So the one that we got a little reset on was this Tesla after earnings. Um, I was able to day trade this. I kind of show you where I got in at. Um, I was able to kind of day trade this off of Friday's lows right here. It's kind of where I got in at. So this is like Friday's lows, and I kind of seen that a little pop into 414, 414, 50. I grabbed a small piece, didn't grab a lot of shares, only grabbed 50. Got a move, and I took some off at around like 420. And I left my stop as a break even on the rest. Uh, luckily I wasn't here after hours, but I did get the tweet that SpaceX and XAI has merged, and that's kind of had like a little reaction on that. I was like, whoa, what's going on? So I was kind of looking at it aftermarket. But lucky me, the broker was closed. I said, look, I know where my stop is. It's right, break even. I don't have a big position where I'm scared of a move down. And I want to kind of see if this can work out. We'll see what happens, right? I like to trade, or I like to kind of swing stocks that it's a little bit further away from my cost basis, and from 415 to 424, it's about a $10 ATR away. So I got some wiggle room if this wants to pull back, maybe put in a higher low to re-add that position. Not the best looking chart, to be honest with you. But just kind of hold this 415 area. I mean, we kind of undercut it here for a few days, but we did reverse it. We're kind of holding it again. So I don't know. I mean, again, not the best looking. Daily charts kind of just range bound. If you kind of just like ignore this right here, right? If you kind of just say like this never occurred, it's just pretty much maybe at the bottom of this range type of thing, right? Maybe this is a bottom range. Maybe it pops back into 488. But we'll see. Again, I'm not trying to gun for the not trying to say we're going to hit all-time highs from here, but I do kind of see this as a potential double bottom. Right, if we can get back above 440, so right here it kind of signifies that double bottom triggering, and potentially this can end up being a nice move. Was what I'm hoping for. Is that going to occur? I don't know. I just let the markets kind of play out the way it's going to play out. All right. Oh, okay. It is still working. So yeah, I think I wanted to show you looking here on the hourly. Let's go here on the hourly. Yeah, so if we can get back above, like 440 right here, it puts it back above, the 9 and the 20 and the 100 day. And really, I wouldn't be too concerned with the 50-day above. How this has kind of bottomed out a little bit. I think we can kind of clear those sellers out as well. So, want to see what happens. That's what it's going to be. Outside of that, took a little trade on silver. I tried it multiple times, ended up flat on it. I want to say I was talking about it down here, had a nice move. Then I tried to bounce it, and I got stopped out. I think somewhere around here I got stopped out on it. Kind of pulled back, put in a higher low back here at Friday's lows. Kind of undercut it earlier in the AM. I mean, this is probably really where you want to buy it at. You get a nice little push, take some off, and leave a break even stop. Maybe you would have got knocked out on this candle, but that's the candle that kind of knocked me out. I was in it somewhere around here. Then we got a nice little, consolidation at VWAP, big move up. Is what it is. Other one, I was fucking around with was this SNDK. I was trying to nail this short, man. And again, this isn't something you need. Damn, things back at all time. This isn't something like you need a bunch of shares, because the reason why I say that is like, you look at the ATR. I mean, up here this had a $10 ATR. You don't need 200 shares, right? Because it's moving, $10 in a 5 minute. I was trying to get up in here. I was trying to trade it, somewhere around in here. I was looking at this volume. Let me see, where was it at? I don't know if it was on here. I was looking at this volume, and I think I got in here. I got stopped out, and try to play with it for around here. And I think one of these wicks has stopped me out. And then below here is kind of like where I got back in because I seen it kind of holding this 661, had the alert. I was able to take that. Ended up almost flat when I think I was down like $40. But originally I was down like 200 or so. Ended up flat on it, and I just left it alone. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, what the market brings to us, I'm not 100% sure. Um, you know, um, yeah, I mean, some things was pulled back, so it's a good opportunity, to look for some undercuts on things. I don't know. I gotta probably look a little more deeper on some stocks, really. But yeah, man, I think that's really about it. I don't have a whole bunch of shit I like. Looks like Palantir's ripping after hours on earnings. Right back in here to the 200. Let's see what happens with this tomorrow. I'm not going to really pay attention to it. It was funny because now this P that I talked about before. I mean, this thing still looks good. I mean, I wouldn't buy it now. It doesn't really move that much. It only moves about $2, so I wouldn't buy it now. But something I want to keep an eye on. Also, this IN CY, something I want to keep an eye on. I might give this a shot. You're risking about $2 here to back up here. There's a good opportunity maybe here. So let me see. Maybe set an alert like right here. See if we can kind of break out of this little pullback, undercut of the 200. I mean, undercut of the 50. Kind of popping back through it. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's another stock I'm kind of mad. I kind of took my eyes off this, but I had a whole big markup on this, and then I kind of had to move today. I kind of got rid of that markup, but I did some research on this stock, and I was like, man, this thing could pull back, but then it did all this, and I just left it alone again. Right when I leave it alone, it gaps up, and then it just rallies up here back into this range. So, I mean, that's really it on it. Yeah, yeah. They'll have a lot that I'm interested in. I know someone mentioned Zoom. Let me take a Zoom. I know Zoom had like this monthly look where it's consolidating. Let me see. Okay, so it's kind of bringing out this little monthly consolidation up here. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't buy it right now. I'll probably look for something like let it break out. Well, it's kind of retesting now, honestly. So I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think it's a bad trade to take here now. This is the weekly candle just opened up. Set your stop at this low right here. You're not really risking much for this to work out. I mean, it got earnings in a few weeks or 2 weeks or so, but it might chop around. But who knows? I think it's kind of remind me of I think it's Wayfair, kind of look similar. Right, the Wayfair, yeah, get kind of similar here. This thing was trading sideways, kind of broke out, retested, right, and now it's starting to go. Um, but yeah, man, that's really it. I mean, again, it's not a whole bunch of great looking stocks, and I mean, like the type of trades you have to take on these, like not a lot of them where you just moving averages, like using moving averages unless it's a strong trend. It's a lot of like just supply and demand type levels, support resistant type of things where I'm getting a little undercut of a base of a gap, something like that. And kind of get a little reversal. You just try to get in on it from there. Um, yeah, that's really it for me. Check out USAR or let's check out USAR. I mean, metals are kind of working. Um, I really just don't like that price action there. Um, just checking around, seeing what's out there. Yeah, I mean that's really it. I mean IWM. I talked about IWM on January 17th, and it's kind of like why you wait. You kind of got that pullback on Friday. Then it kind of got brought up today. I talked about like this previous all-time high pivot. like this higher high pivot pretty much. Like this is at the all time high. Had a nice pullback, and then it ripped. You know, it kind of got a little extended away from the EMAs. I kind of mentioned this area, and the thing was like, I, how do you take that? You know, one, I wouldn't want to take it on a Friday. You know, have that overnight or over the weekend exposure. You know, but you know, there's something right here. I mean, damn, this thing just went. Honestly, it's kind of hard just to grab that, but I mean, you just gotta grab it. You just gotta grab it right here, and I mean, you're only risking, you know, if you grab it. Oh man, I said I really don't know. Maybe red to green. All right, you're risking, you know, here risking $1. You know, from up here, you know, good risk to reward. You know, it's one of those situations I think. Um, but yeah, um, doesn't look too bad. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, yeah, it's not a whole lot of crazy shit like this Oracle. I still don't know why it gapped up, and I still see it gapped up this morning. Um, what's the news on it? All right, still selling debt. Look like market's still not liking it. Really just sold off right from the opening session. Um, yeah, a straight bleeder. I think if you wanted to buy Oracle long term, like look at like 100, like $80 to $100. I think is a probably good price on Oracle. Um, let's go look at Meta, not Meta. Let's go look at Microsoft. This thing has been getting abused. Let's check Microsoft. I mean, this is pretty much okay. I mean, right here at this previous gap. Oh, how the cat. Right here. So we can kind of mark this out. Again, like, this is what I'm talking about. You might get a little stupid shit like this where it just undercuts the gap. You might get a little move on it. And the reason why I say that is because like if you go back to Meta, um, I think it was. I think I played it around here. I think I played the 600 spot. Or whatever. What you doing, Haley? Okay, here I come. But yeah, that's really about it. Let's go look quickly at Meta. I mean, Microsoft Weekly. Um, yeah, I mean below the 50 week, below the 100 week. All right, these are the weeklies, right? Yeah, I mean it's just pretty bearish right now. Maybe back here into like 388 if you want to go long term or the 200 day. We haven't tapped the 200 day since 2022, so that's probably a good like dollar cost average spot if you wanted to kind of get long from a longer term perspective, but really not much of a bounce trade I think, not yet. Um, yeah, but that's all, man. Peace, God bless.